وقل رب زدني علما.
Today then we begin with the hadith of Aisha radiyallahu anha. قالت كان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقبل وهو صائم ويباشر وهو صائم ولكنه أملككم لإربه. متفق عليه. In this narration it mentions that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would kiss his wife when fasting and engage in foreplay, not intercourse. But then Aisha mentioned he was the most controlling of his desires than any of you. The narration is therefore talking about the topic of physical contact and intimacy between the spouses when fasting. The narration indicates that the Prophet ﷺ kissed his wife when fasting and engaged in intimate physical contact, lesser than intercourse, of course. The scholars have said, based upon this narration that indicates the permissibility of physical contact and intimacy, they've mentioned that this is all based upon the issue of control of desire and arousal of desire. And so they say, the fuqaha, the scholars of fiqh, they say those who are young, then it is not permissible for them to engage in any activity of this nature, any physical contact and intimacy, because those who are young typically do not have the control over their desires and the subsequent arousal. And so the scholars, they say those who are young, and young could be 20s, 30s, 40s, they cannot engage in this. But those who are old, much older, in their later years, where the desire is not going to be strong and it can be controlled a lot easier than somebody who is young with strength, then the elderly in age, they could engage in this physical contact and intimacy with their wife, and that would not be something that is impermissible. But for the young, then the scholars, they say they should not do any of this, because the young do not have the control that those who are elderly may have.